Welcome back to Rhythm and Roads. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. We have a very special guest on this episode. We have Grizelda Garza. She's a wardrobe stylist for film and television, and she recently worked on that film Ritual starring Al Pacino. So it's incredible just the fact that she has such an incredible journey in this film industry. So welcome,
Thank
Grizelda.
you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And also, I'm really interested in getting to know your story behind ZEELAS as well, which I think you're still with ZEELAS. That's your own.
Yeah,
Yeah,
been pondering and just kind of on a little back burner, but it's still there. It's
still
still
there.
still very much a big goal of mine to
Yeah.
pursue. But working in TV and film has been big time of most of my time where I it's been so difficult to try to manage both careers. So it's been a little hard to kind of manage both at some point.
Hmm.
But no, it's been good. I love both. So I'm trying to find ways to balance both, both of these goals. So
Right.
that's kind of where I'm at right now with that. Hmm.
All right. Well, let's start with the chapter one, season one of Griselda's story of her life. But I mean, there has to been that point of maybe when you were a child or growing up, just what triggered the interest to want to pursue, the film industry, to want to be a wardrobe stylist. I mean, I know you're very big on fashion, but what was the start for you?
Well, I mean, as a child, I think I grew up in the 80s and I saw a lot of amazing flicks. So I was always
Yeah.
a big dreamer when it came to film, to film. And I always saw myself as like, man, I want to be on one of those film sets one day.
Yeah.
And grew up loving so many amazing films. Tim Burton was like one
Oh, yeah.
big, amazing director that I just fell in love with as a child.
Yeah.
The costumes, everything that the stories were dark and just whimsical, and I loved everything about it. And then, but it wasn't film and TV that really jump started like what I wanted to start. It was necessary. It was mostly obviously fashion. So I saw myself as a big fashion designer. As a child, I would sketch out designs, and I wanted to vision myself in like New York Fashion Week. So I was definitely more of that pursuing of that type of fashion at that time, growing up. So it wasn't until, I had been doing wardrobe for a lot of print and working with other wardrobe stylists. And that is kind of when production kind of started taking a start for me as I got older, when I was like, hey, I could actually be a part of these movies. But
Yeah.
growing up, in Texas, I always saw myself like those dreams wouldn't be possible unless you lived in LA or New York City. So I saw an avenue where maybe I can just do, catalog styling and do a little fashion shows here, but none of that really just, gave me that quench of like, this is what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've been doing production for about, God, I've been doing overall wardrobe for about 15 years, which is crazy
Wow.
long time. Yeah.
Very long
And
time.
production probably for maybe 11 of those years.
Yeah.
Started in commercials. From commercials, I was able to find my way into film. And that's where my passion really lies. I just love filmmaking so much.
Yeah.
And I love costumes. I love creating characters and bringing these characters to life and creating vision boards with the directors and just kind of collaborating with actors, and a lot of the whole process behind it that most people don't see. They usually see the final product on the previews or the actual when the movie's out, but there's a whole process before all that that's
Uh,
is very exciting for me, and it's what just gives me all that fuel in life. And
yeah.
so yeah, so that's kind of where it started for me. Just, I mean, I've been a just I've loved cinema ever since I was a little girl.
Wow.
So doing it and being a part of it now is really yeah, it's really exciting and humbling that dreams are possible for anybody, really.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome. And yeah, you actually are the example of live the impossible. You know, you're living the dream. You're taking those risks. You know, I mean, I bet you've had some obstacles. You've had some times where you just question yourself and just wonder, like, did I make the right decision? The road that I'm on. I mean, maybe you've had some setbacks, but I mean, you're still here, right? I mean, you're still doing what you love. So,
Yep, yep,
yeah.
yeah. There's always, I think as an artist, there's always comes a point where we question ourselves,
Yeah.
our path, like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
When you're not getting a call, you're not getting books, you question yourself at times, like, why am I not getting hired? Or
Mm.
you're bidding for the same job with others, with other costume designers, and they choose that one versus your work. And you kind of go through waves
Yeah.
of emotion sometimes, but you have to learn to go to, manage those emotions and just know that nothing has to do with your work or your ethic or your personality. It's just some opportunities are not meant for you.
Mm.
And one door closes, there's another one that opens. So
That's
I've had
right.
to
Yeah.
I've had to really just be that mind, just get in that mindset, which has helped me. And at the end of the day, I always feel like there's always one door that is opening, even
Yeah.
when one closes. So
Mm.
yeah, so it's been a journey for sure.
Definitely has, you know, and I have to say that you have to get to that point with your mentality to think that way. And it's like you said, it's not quick because you have to overcome the emotions of feeling, yeah, why did they choose this person over me? You know, what is it about me? You question yourself. But like you said, there's certain opportunities that are for you that will come and it won't feel like there's so much pushback. It'll just flow. You know, and those
Right.
doors that are open for you are ones that you're gonna be like, thank God that door closed because of this opportunity, you know.
Yep. Exactly.
So
Yep.
I've definitely been there.
Yeah. I think that's just the life of an artist. I think
Yeah.
we go through they call it writer's block, where sometimes you're just not
Yeah.
inspired. Your creativity is lacking a little bit, and then boom, a project just lands in your inbox, and you start reading the script, and you're like, oh, I'm back.
Back in the
So
game. Yeah.
back in the game. So yeah, it's pretty much like a roller coaster, I think, trying to
Yeah.
be a freelancer and in this type of industry that I work in. Same thing for musicians. I think
Yeah.
anything that is not the norm of what the most American dreams and goals are for a lot of people, we choose a path of just tons of risk taking. I think it's really
Yeah.
what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So I like to call artists like we're a little bit of crazy. We're a
Hey,
little
that's cool.
bit.
Yeah. You have to be like that. You have to be a risk taker. You have to do some things that don't make sense because that's where faith comes in, you know?
Yep. Yeah. And faith plays a
Seeing.
huge part for
Yeah.
me in my life, and it's not for everybody, but yeah, faith has been a big one for me because I'm always aware that when I'm feeling a certain way, like God always provides,
Yeah.
and he's proven that to me time and time again, where even when I am getting a little nervous because I'm like, I haven't booked a job, like I
Right.
have rent coming up, and it's like a slap in my face every time. I'm like, there he goes again, proving me wrong. you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it plays I think faith plays a huge part in what I do.
That's awesome. You know,
Mhm.
and there's times where it does happen for me as well, just to be reminded, right? You think like what you just said, how you're wondering about when's the next project. So actually, let me come to that point. There was a part of me that was like, well, I have enough interviews for the following month, right?
Right.
And then I thought to myself, well, then why am I limiting God, what he can provide?
Mhm.
Because look what he's already brought to me from past. I mean, already so many interviewers and guests that I've been doing, and I'm just like, well, why would I come to my mindset like that, saying, well, will I have enough next month?
Right.
Then I think God
Yeah.
asks us, like, well, how's your faith? Do you believe you'll have enough?
Mhm.
So,
Yep. I think as humans we tend to that's where we fall short sometimes,
Yeah.
where we do lack that sometimes,
Yeah.
and God says, our dreams are nothing that he has planned for us. So
Right.
what we imagine our goals, it's like his is even bigger.
Yeah.
So I like to always lean on that because I'm like, I'm here stressing about the most little things, and I'm like,
Yeah.
God's like laughing, like
Like God's got it. Like, yeah.
Mhm.
Say,
And
don't
at the end
worry.
of the day, God knows our heart. He knows our
Yeah.
journey. He knows
Right.
our goals and those visions do come to life, I think, with time and
Yeah.
God's timing, really. So
Totally agree.
yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that. So let's get into the story. Well, I want to say thank you for sharing the journey from the start of getting the interest into the film industry as a wardrobe stylist. But let's talk about ZEELAS. Like that's another chapter of your life that's interesting.
Yeah, so ZEELAS, I started that back in, God, I think it was 2018.
Okay.
It's been just an online clothing store. It's it's not my own brand I mean, it's my brand, but it's not my own designs or anything. I am still strictly dealing with wholesale buyers and stuff like that, wholesalers. But yeah, it was just I had a boutique years ago with a business partner, and it was a brick and mortar. And after that experience of having that and then getting into production right at that time frame, I got so busy that it was just very hard to manage a business, especially a brick and mortar at the time. So I had decided to part ways at that time and launch my own brand called ZEELAS.
Mhm.
And ZEELAS is just a brand that really signifies a little bit of my style, a little bit of who I am. It has a little bit of that streetwear, but there's glam, there's a little bit of edginess, and I wanted to do a just a store that wasn't, very here in Texas, everything is always so, bohemian and just very much the same styles that I always see, at the store. So I wanted it to do something and impact the style a little differently and a little bit more of who I was. So when I launched it, I did that nonstop for like 3, 4 years of just continuing, and it's a lot of work to have to run an online store and
I bet.
e-commerce is a
Yeah.
whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Went to a lot of the fashion markets in LA and just, really dabbled into that. But after kind of taking a break from it and kind of just putting it a little bit in the back burner, I see a whole bigger vision now of
Okay.
what what to do and what not to do. So I feel like I'm at the point now where I've experienced enough to know what works for me.
Mm.
And social media marketing is a whole different ball game
Oh
too, of
yeah.
trying to keep up with all of that. And I am now aware that I can't do it on my own.
Mm.
I need a team,
Yeah.
So building the team is really where I'm at right now with choosing the right people to help manage the business and only focus on what my strengths are. And
Right.
to me, that would be more of the creative directing side of choosing the styles,
Okay.
choosing the clothing. But I don't want to be a part of every photo shoot of ZEELAS. I don't want to have to post every day to get views and likes. So I think a lot of that just took a toll on me of
Mm.
trying to manage both my personal career with film and TV plus a clothing brand. And
Right.
I think I just got burnt out, to be honest with you. I got burnt out because it was too much for me and having to worry about the shipping and
That's a
and
lot.
it was a lot. It was a lot on my
Yeah.
plate. So I always saw it as either you're going to sacrifice one career for the other. And told myself, if I want ZEELAS to be 100% successful,
Mhm.
I have to take a break from film and TV so I can really focus on this. But
Mhm.
I also feel like that's limiting myself, because
Right.
I know that there's other avenues to be able to build a team while they focus on what my strengths are not, which is, the marketing side of things, you know, all of that. So
Yeah.
I think I can do
Interesting.
both. Yeah, I think I can do both, but doing it the right way this time and not getting myself burnt out, trying to
Yeah.
trying to control everything. in other words. So
Right.
it's about letting go a little bit and trusting others.
I'm glad you able to figure that out, get the team going.
Yeah.
That way you're not always there, like you said,
Yeah,
dealing with the
I
post.
travel too much for work that
Yeah.
it's nearly impossible. And if things are needing to be shipped out because orders are coming in, like I'm not available to do those things.
Mm,
So I think that's what caused a pause for me. But ZEELAS is still there. The good thing is I don't have any overhead costs. It's just the website. I don't have a brick and mortar at this time. So I always saw as like it's okay to, put it on the side for a little bit and marinate all these new ideas and get re-inspired again. And when I'm ready to get back in it, like you're gonna do it the right way this time.
that's right.
That's kind of where I'm at right now with Zila's.
That's cool. No, yeah, thanks for sharing that. Yeah. It's like,
Really.
that was a part of your life too that was just just I was inspired by it when I found out that you were opening up your boutique store online. I was like, that's so cool. So,
Yeah, and then I mean, I have so much bigger goals for it too. Like I want to start men's apparel too, not just
oh,
female.
there you go.
So
Yeah.
men's apparel is
Yeah.
something that I feel is lacking in men's fashion for some reason. And I feel like everything's always the same. So if
Yeah.
I could try to find unique styles um, for men's fashion, that would be something that I would be really into as well.
All
So
right. Well,
another
if you need a model to represent some of your stuff,
you
uh,
know it.
keep in mind. But yeah, I'm trying to get into the whole background acting and trying to get more into the field. So
Yeah. No, there's a huge career in it. Even for background actors, voice actors. I
yeah.
mean, it's crazy meeting so many actors throughout my career, and some of them have started really late, like at
Um,
the age of 30, 40, and they're just starting and they're getting books,
that's
commercials left and
awesome.
right. And I'm like, anybody can do it. Like,
Yeah.
so
It's just that one step in going towards the unknown. You know what I mean?
absolutely. It's
It's
just
just the
like
unknown of everything. Like,
taking the
okay,
answers.
yeah.
And I think in this industry, you just have to be ready to get told no
Mm,
many times and be okay with it.
yeah.
Again, that go back to saying that some opportunities are not for you,
Right.
you know?
I agree.
So you can't
Well,
quit.
that's
Why you
right.
can't
Don't
quit.
quit. Well,
Industry makes me want to quit many times.
I bet. Yeah. Let's get in. I do want to get into some of your actually impressive sets that you've been on lately, like especially Ritual. I mean, I know you've probably been on some other films prior to that, of course, that are pretty big. But you want to start kind of on the journey on some big films that you've been on, and then leading up to Ritual.
Yeah. My first big set was I was just a background costumer for Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh wow, I
That
remember
was
that.
my
Okay.
first experience of
Oh,
walking into
cool.
like this huge
Wow.
mega set of
Yeah.
like being time warped back into like the 1920s, I believe it was
Yeah.
around that time frame. So obviously it was, directed by Martin Scorsese,
Right.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro's in it.
Yeah.
So when I got to Oklahoma and I got asked if I wanted to be background costumer, I was like, of course, like I couldn't say no to that. So I drove
Right.
all the way up to Oklahoma, which was like a
Mm.
9-hour drive, I think it was.
Wow.
And I was out there for a couple of weeks, and it was just mind blowing of like just seeing Martin Scorsese like a couple of feet away from me. And I mean, I grew
Sure.
up watching his films and
Oh
loving all
yeah.
his gangster films and everything. So yeah, I think that was like the very first time that was like a surreal moment of like, wow, like
Yeah.
like I can be a part of these opportunities.
Right.
So I felt like at that point, like, oh, I made it,
Right. You're like, ooh,
even
what's
though I was
next? Yeah.
even though I was a background costumer, but I
Yeah.
still got to see the amount of work that these costume designers had been working on, like
Mm.
prior 6 months of just prep.
Wow.
And I got to meet so many amazing, cool people too.
Yeah.
Other costumers, all around Texas. That was a really cool experience. So yeah, I think that's what this whole industry is about. You get on these sets, you meet new people, and you never know what these people that you meet will take you on to the next, next project if they like you. Um, and then, of course, years later down the line, I get asked to be a costume designer for a producer that I have worked with on a few other films. But this one that he calls me on is basically telling me if I'm ready. And I'm like, ready? Like, of course I'm ready for any project. Like, what's up? He's like, well, this is going to be a big cast and
Okay.
they're well-known actors. You might have heard of him. And I'm like, okay, cool. What is it? And starts explaining to me the project and tells me Al Pacino's going to star in it. And I'm like,
Wow.
what? What?
So
So of
cool.
course, that was another surreal moment
Yeah.
of my career where I'm like, it's just insane and crazy that, this girl from Texas out of all places that you don't think, Hollywood is near or anything.
Right.
It was these opportunities were coming to me at this
Mm.
point. And so yeah, that was very, very cool.
Amazing.
So I've
Yeah.
gotten the opportunity to work with some amazing actors that I've grown up watching on TV.
Right.
So those are so those are just humbling experiences for me, really. And then you
Wow.
meet them in person and they're even cooler in person, because you now
Yeah. Yeah.
have a personality behind it and not just this actor that you've seen on TV
Yeah.
and it makes the experience just even more
Wow.
just more humbling, I think. So yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask, is how was meeting Al Pacino, just being his stylist. So
Oh, he was a great guy. He was
yeah.
very cool, very humble, just very sweet, very professional in his way of acting, his method acting. He had an accent for this film that I did on the ritual,
Oh, he
and
did. Okay.
amazing because I got to work with him like closely almost 2 months and he stayed in this character for like that long. Where at
Wow.
one point I even questioned myself, like, is that his actual real voice
Yeah.
or is the voice that I've been hearing on TV, is that like just a facade? Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the day that he picture rapped, his real voice finally came out.
That's
And
insane.
I was just
Wow.
like, oh my God, this guy's been in character this whole time.
That's crazy.
And
Wow.
so yeah, so he was I got to work with his entourage and get
Yeah.
work closely with him in his trailer and
That's so
dressing
cool.
him every morning. He specifically didn't want a lot of other costumers to, touch him and stuff like that. So I was like the costumer that only was with him at all times.
The
So
VIP. Yeah.
VIP costumer. So yeah, that was
That's
a that was
cool.
an exciting experience for sure. And then I just got to work with the late Michael Madsen too
Oh,
last
that's
year,
right.
and
Yeah.
he just passed. So that was another humbling experience for me, because I grew up just loving so many of his movies
Oh,
and
yeah. Incredible
Quentin
actor.
Tarantino just has so many amazing characters that he's been
Yeah.
in his films. So getting to know him also was so yeah, so you meet these actors that you've admired for so long, and
Yeah.
then you work with them and you just even love them even more. It's like you
Even
become
more.
a
Yeah.
fan, you know?
Which
So
film did you work with Michael?
so it hasn't been released yet, but it should probably be coming out sometime next year or late this year. I'm not really sure when the release date is. It's
Okay.
called Blood Behind Us.
Okay.
And worked with an amazing director named Brendan from LA, and I got the opportunity to do a costume on this film, and it's an action based film.
Oh, cool. All right.
So Michael Madsen played the father of one of the lead characters in it, and he was just he
Wow.
is what he is. Like he
Yeah.
was just that had that natural swag to him,
Yeah.
that voice and just his acting just came off so raw on camera that you would think at some point, like, is he improving? And he did. He improved a little bit along
Yeah.
with the script, of course, and the dialogue, but he had his own way of acting.
Wow.
I thought that what is
Incredible.
what made him who he was in
Right.
all his films.
Yeah.
So
Amazing
like
to get to do that.
that swag that he has in most of his films, like
Yeah,
that's who he is in real life.
that's so cool. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sad about his
Yeah.
passing.
Very, yeah, I saw the news too, and yeah, very devastating that we lost him. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Leonardo? Did you meet him?
I didn't have a personal like conversation with Leo, but
Oh,
I
okay.
get to see him like right in action and
That's cool.
getting his hair and makeup touched up on set like a couple feet away. And
Yeah.
I'm, just trying
Hey,
to stay
that's
professional and trying to stay professional and acting like he's no big deal. But
hey, that's
no,
cool though. I mean, you're a couple of
he's,
feet from him. I mean, that's so cool, you know?
I'm a huge fan of Leo's
Oh, of
too.
course, yeah.
He's probably he's up there in the list of my top favorite actors.
Yeah?
So, and yeah, he's great.
What's your other favorite actors on your top? I know there's
Um,
Johnny Depp. I mean, that's like the probably the number one.
Johnny Depp's up there as like my favorite like actors. But
Okay.
I wouldn't say like my top favorite actors. He's just an actor that I really admire for his craft and for the roles that he chooses, and
Yeah.
he likes to, lean towards those weird roles, and I like him for that, He's never gone for that full Hollywood typical like heartthrob type of roles.
Hmm.
Um, so I think I respect him for that, like the weird roles that he chooses. But top favorite actors, I mean, gosh, I love Denzel, of
Oh
course.
yeah. Denzel.
Tom
Yeah.
Hanks, Mel Gibson is up there.
No. Yeah.
So when it comes to and Leonardo, of course. So when it comes to like that acting, yeah,
Yeah.
I have my views of like those guys can make you laugh, cry, just
Oh
all of
yeah.
it, It's
Good
amazing.
choices. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great actors.
Of course, we all wish you the moment of meeting Johnny. All the people that know you, that you have
Okay,
that opportunity
hopefully.
that one day when he gets back into the acting field.
Well, hey, if you ever get him on your podcast, let's
Oh my
let's
God.
relay on a call.
Oh,
And,
I would love that. That'd be amazing, of course.
yeah, no, he's uh he's an icon in my eyes.
Yeah. And also a great musician as well. I mean, he's a guitarist. He loves to be in that kind of
Yeah,
field of playing, so it's pretty cool.
he's very talented. Yeah, no, I admire Johnny Depp very much for everything that he does. I feel like he's not your typical Hollywood actor.
He's not. No, I agree. It's just he's kind of been MIA lately, isn't it? Like
I'm not sure.
I don't know if you called him and asked him, well, what's up, but that's funny.
I'm like, I think he's I actually had a friend, like a colleague actually. She worked on a project with him last year, and he
Oh,
was
really? Okay.
director on one of the films.
Oh,
So it's
nice.
crazy because
Okay.
like I've worked with so many people that have worked with him.
Oh, man.
I'm like, I'm getting this close,
You're
this
so
close.
close. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, and so well, okay, so I take it he's back in acting. I mean,
I
he's
think
doing
he's
a film.
acting. I think last thing I saw on him was he was doing a new film with Penelope Cruz.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I don't know what it's called or anything. I'm a fan, but I'm not like a stalker fan.
No, I get that.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That's
Maybe.
cool. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing that. And yeah, just for me, I feel like, so inspiring actors out there that like for me it's Shia LaBeouf. He's one of them from the
No.
start. I mean, I would love to interview him. I just interviewed Sean McNamara, the executive producer who started That's So Raven, Even Stevens, and then he recently directed Reagan, starring Dennis Quaid. But just for him to share how Shia was when they first discovered him for Even Stevens, it's just amazing. Just like uh,
Yeah, yeah, he's a great actor too. I think he's
yeah,
very much a method actor as well too. Like he
yeah.
gets into his deep characters, kind of like what Heath Ledger was like too.
Oh, exactly. I agree. Just like Heath. Yeah,
You admire that, it takes a craft, I think, to be actors work really hard too. Like
yeah.
sometimes I see what they have to go through and get in the right mindset, and I'm like, I don't know how they do that. Like it's admirable.
Yeah, I
Like,
bet. Yeah.
but it's crazy because like I've worked with actors where some scenes, like especially the day of that filming,
Yeah.
is really intense, emotion, and they're different the day that
Mhm.
they show up on that day because
Yeah.
they're already in character from the moment they get on set, that they know that they're not, they know that they're about to jump into a crazy intense scene. So you think like, oh, they're so quiet today, or they're a little, weird today or something,
Yeah.
but it's because they're getting ready, you know?
Interesting. Hmm.
It is interesting. I
Yeah.
like to I like to see the just the process of like what actors go through too.
Right.
And I work so closely with them, because
Of
I mean,
course. Yeah.
I collaborate with them, and I'm a costume designer who loves to take, a little bit of feedback and insight of like what they're feeling,
Yeah.
because
Of course.
I know some costume designers that are set with what their vision is and what the director's vision is, but I like to be able to collaborate with both actors and the directors,
Mm.
figure out all their visions and combine them all together, including mine. And I think that's what really makes their character come to life even more.
Okay.
When you give a little bit of leeway to actors and let them choose too, like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what I picture myself wearing. And
Right.
I'm like, okay, okay, I wasn't thinking that, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. That would be cool. And I think that's the whole, I love that part of the whole vision
Right.
making. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that. I do want to get to a point of for those that want to be a wardrobe stylist for film, or maybe those that are in it, but like, how do you overcome just yes, the rejection, right? Those calls that or the emails saying, sorry you didn't get the part or you didn't get the to be a wardrobe stylist for this film. And like you said, there's a lot of no's, but then you're up to that one yes. But I mean, for you, you've when you first started, you probably went through some lot of just like, oh, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? So for those that like, I would love for you to share just what does it really take to really overcome that and just to keep going because it can be pretty hard, getting those rejections left and right, and you just feel like, well, dang, is this even for me? But then
Right,
you're just on the verge of that one that's going to open, but you're just not there yet. You know what I mean?
right. Well, this industry, first and foremost, I feel like anybody that wants to be a part of this industry has to already accept and understand that this is a cutthroat business.
Mm,
Not many people are going to be loyal to you because there's so much talent out there. And at the end of the day, I don't feel like anything should be should feel personal. And
mm,
I feel like when you try to separate that from personal feelings to what business is, you'll start to understand what the business is like,
wow. Yeah.
and you have to be able to accept no, and that's for any job, any job that you go on an interview doesn't mean you get on an interview, you
Right.
get the job,
Right.
so we tend to fall in those moments right there where we start questioning ourselves, we
Mhm.
start, lacking a little bit of that confidence because we didn't get the job.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's about, like it's, you know, getting right back up,
Mm,
and um, accepting no for an answer, because even though one person says no, that, it doesn't mean that it's no forever.
right.
So I think, um, I think that's really what it entails. You just have to have tough skin in this industry.
Mm,
And you can't give up, that's one thing that I see a lot of people that started the time that I started, and now they're doing a whole
wow.
different
Mm,
career move where they're now a realtor, and they didn't pursue it because they couldn't, I guess they weren't patient enough to keep going,
yeah.
and again, like we were saying, like when one door closes, there's always another door that opens, and it may not be on your timing, but it
Right.
does come, with your faith, and it takes a lot of action too. So
Yeah.
what are
Right.
you doing on your part to putting yourself out there? Are you networking? Are you meeting right people? But in this industry, once you're in, I feel like you're in,
Mm,
the hardest part is meeting the right contacts.
okay.
I tell that to everybody that's trying to start, it's like start on short films, do little indie projects,
Yeah.
do projects where maybe you're not getting paid and it's just something to add to your resume as an
Yeah.
experience,
Right.
Nobody is going to want to trust you if you don't have any sort of backup to prove what you're doing.
Exactly.
So
True.
if you're trying to build a portfolio and editorial fashion, do free
Right.
photo shoots with models and collaborate. There's a lot of other artists that are trying to do collaborations for free, just to get
Mhm.
work done and just to put work out there.
Right.
So it's about leaning towards those people and attracting those type of people that are on the same path as you, you know.
Yeah. Well said. Good stuff. Very true. Yeah. You have to have that mentality that's
Just speaking from my own
thick skin.
experience,
Yeah.
of like, yeah, not everybody's gonna choose you, and that's okay, But I'll always remember a friend of mine in New York City. And I always mention this with advice that he told me because I remember I wanted to move to New York City and I also wanted to move to LA.
Yeah.
And I was like stressing about that so much. Like, I just want to move, I'm ready, like,
Yeah.
and at the time, Texas wasn't doing so much fashion, wasn't doing so much TV and film at that time. There was commercials being made here and there, but there wasn't a lot of production. And I remember him telling me, like, why do you want to be a small fish in, over here in New York City when you're competing with tons of other fishes, when you could be a big fish in a small pond in Texas?
Mm.
When he told me
Oh,
that, like, it just was like a light bulb that,
yeah.
lit up. And I was like, you're right,
Yeah.
make a name for yourself where I'm at. And
Yeah.
I think that really, really stuck with me and it really helped me in my career because there wasn't a lot of other costume designers doing what I was doing here in San Antonio.
Mm.
There was plenty in Austin and Dallas, but not in San Antonio per se. So I think being able to just build that image for myself, I
Right.
think really gave me a platform to build on.
Wow. That was great that he said that. That makes total sense. Yeah. Start where
And
you're at and make it grow from where you're at. Yeah.
yeah, like start where you're at. And he always told me, don't worry, like when you
Yeah.
build it, like they will come. And it's so true.
Wow.
It's so true.
And there was a part two that you wanted to go to LA, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was a big, big California dreamer, and I
Yeah.
still love California. Love California. It's such a
Yeah.
beautiful, one of my favorite states. But yeah, no, it's right now production I know it's hurting a little bit out there right now.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people that work out there that I'm great friends with. So it's slowing down, and then now look what's happening with Texas. We just got to
Yeah.
build past our
That's
tax.
right.
And so it's like, it's all coming. So LA will always be there.
Right.
But Texas is home for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I mean, hopefully you get gigs out there in LA down the road.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I would still love to work out there. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I love LA.
Oh, I love it too. Griselda, I just want to say thank you for coming on Rhythm and Roads to share your incredible journey and just the advice you've given. And it's been such a blessing to have you on. For those to find you on social media, what are your links?
Style by Grizelda is on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, business pages, Style by Grizelda, and those are the only two really that I use. I'm not a big TikToker or anything.
Okay, no, that's fine. And then to hire you,
I have it. Well, I have it, but you're
right? Yeah.
not gonna see me dancing on it.
And then to hire you for work, do you have your own website or contact for
I do,
that?
yeah. You can call me. You can reach me at stylebygrizelda.com. So
Okay,
yeah, you'll see a bit of my work on there, a little bit of
yeah,
reels and projects that I've been on there.
that's awesome. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing. It's been such a blessing to have you share all the incredible stories and people you have met, especially Al Pacino. Just wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
It's definitely a highlight for sure. It was good seeing you too.
Yeah, it's been a blessing to have you on and see you. And for the viewers, I just want to say if you'd like to share your story on Rhythm and Roads, you're always welcome. It's Rhythm and Roads official on Instagram and YouTube, Rhythm and Roads podcast. But yeah, if you'd like to share your story, you're welcome on Rhythm and Roads. So thank you guys, and thank you Griselda for your time. and
You.
we will catch you on the next episode.